Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. Today looking at a little battle beers, as Darwin's beer reviews call it, or maybe just more of a comparison, because I think these two were made to be drank at the same time, or drunk at the same time. So this by Evil Twin, from, Jeppe, the brother of Mikkeller, or Mikkel. And this is his retro and modern IPA. So he created two IPAs, one celebrating what was popular a few years back. He says like the 1985 style IPA, and then the kind of more modern juicy ones, which is pretty cool. It's a kind of a neat idea, and I think maybe towards the end we're gonna try and do a cuvee and see how the old school and new school match. So I'm more into the new school nowadays, and just as soon as I popped them, I could already smell the differences. So really, really cool concept. I like when breweries do two beers that are fairly similar, and then you can try them like side by side. Like he did that with the Yin and Yang too, which was really cool as well. Also, gotta give a big thanks to bestofbeers.dk for these two bad boys. Check them out, links is in the description. They are a great Danish web shop with a ton of beer. They have some stone stuff coming very soon, so yeah, check them out. We got the retro IPA poured here, and that is not nearly as hazy as the modern. It's still a very nice golden, yellow, orangey color, white head to it. Let's check it out. Let's check out the aroma. Definitely old school on the aroma. Grapefruit, earthy, resiny. There's some like very earthy, and it's also like a touch of caramel, or like a little bit of a, maybe not caramel, but some sweeter malt notes. But yeah, let's give the retro IPA a taste. I think there's maybe Pilsner malt in here. It's very light on the malt backbone. Actually more light maybe than some old school IPAs, but the hop flavor is old school for sure. I wonder if it's the same hop or malt bill they're using on both of them, and it's the hopping that's different. But it's definitely like grapefruit, earthy, resiny, almost garlicky flavor. It's got some freshly baked bread. Yeah, this kind of tastes like an IPA you'd be having maybe 6-7 years ago when I started the channel. Actually, that's pretty much what I remember IPAs being like. It's pretty tasty still. I like the grapefruit flavor. There's some pine too, a lot of pine on the back end, a little bit of pithy notes. But yeah, I think this one is going to be more my cup of tea. So let's check out the aroma on the modern. That is much more hazy. Yeah, that smells more tropical for sure. Not as big a juice bomb as some. I don't know if I mentioned it. I think I forgot, but they're both 6%. But sweet citrus for sure. Also sweet citrus. A little bit of pineapple, passion fruit type aroma. Lemony limey. It's not got any malt really. That had more malt, and this has none of those kind of earthy, resiny flavors and whatnot. Let's try the modern IPA. Cheers. Yeah. Definitely more new school. Still a good kick of pine on the aftertaste, but it's got more of a tropical flavor. It's kind of reminiscent of some of the Midwestern type IPAs, like some of the stuff they do at like Two Hearted or Two Hearted, sorry, Bell's, like or Surly or something like that. That's what it reminds me of. It's not like the Northeast style with the huge juice bombs, because it's still got a good bitter kick, and then like as on the back end, it's like kind of scraping. Bitter, pithy grapefruit, but it's much more juicy and vibrant. And I think it's the same hop or malt bill maybe, because the mouthfeel on them are both like lighter side of medium, very similar malt flavors. This does have a little bit of breadiness, but it's definitely outshined by the hops. Yeah, definitely prefer the modern. Lots of grapefruit, it's got an almost chalky bite to it too. Tropical fruit, maybe not as much on the flavor, but it's more like sweet citrus. There is some tropical, like slight passion fruit, passion fruit, pineapple, but not as much. It's more the grapefruit and sweet citrus notes that dominate. But yeah, favorite is this one. This one is also pretty tasty, so it's a pretty fun beer thing to try, and they're fairly cheap as well. Usually, when the beer comes from the States, they're quite expensive, but these cans were only 30 kroners each, so pretty cheap stuff. So tasty stuff. Grade wise, I'd probably go like 85 on the old school. It's a good beer. It's nothing mind blowing, but it's definitely more in the old school, you know, retro tradition. They call it retro IPA too, so makes sense. And this one, let's go an 88 on the modern. It's not the best hoppy beer I've had from Evil Twin, but it's a really cool concept. You can definitely see the evolution in the IPA, kind of like how they were in the past and how most IPAs are gearing towards flavor-wise now with the modern one. So yeah, cool little series, 85, 88, or 85 for the retro, 88 for the modern. Now, let's try blending it. I'm gonna pour in some of this over here. And now we got the modern retro IPA. Get a little bit more malt, but there's definitely more citrus. Let's try it. That works fairly well. It tastes like just more or less like the retro with a little bit of a new school twist. Kind of like a little bit more juiciness, but yeah, still fun. So guys, that does it for the review of the retro and modern IPA by Evil Twin and the little blend. Thanks a ton to bestofbeers.dk for providing these. Check them out, guys, if you want to get a hold of these bad boys and many other beers. Good stuff. So yeah, as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. And I'm going to say cheers in some modern retro IPA. See you guys in another beer review.